you catch yourself complaining about small things every single day, even when you promised yourself you'd stay positive. What if your life could actually start improving just by removing one habit most people don't take seriously? In this video, I'll share 6 science-backed psychology shifts that happen when you stop complaining and how it quietly transforms your mindset and life. Visual: stick figure sitting surrounded by floating complaint bubbles like tired, busy, unlucky. I first noticed this when I started tracking my own thoughts during stressful periods and realized how often I was mentally complaining without even speaking. Research in cognitive psychology shows that complaining rewires your brain to focus on problems instead of solutions. The problem is, most people don't even realize how automatic this habit becomes. It feels harmless, but it slowly shapes your identity, your energy, and even your decisions. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what changes inside your brain when you stop complaining, and how it can completely shift your life direction. Let's dive in. Visual: brain with complaint loops slowly turning into solution pathways. Now here's where it gets interesting. Most people don't realize this, but complaining literally trains your brain to find more things to complain about. When you complain often, your brain starts scanning reality for problems instead of possibilities. Even neutral situations start feeling negative because your mind expects them to be. It becomes an automatic mental filter. Neuroscience calls this the reticular activating system. Studies from Harvard psychology research show that whatever you repeatedly focus on becomes your brain's default filter. So if you focus on problems, your brain finds more problems, even when life is fine. First, catch yourself when you mentally complain, even silently. Second, replace the complaint with a neutral statement like, "This is what's happening right now." Third, actively search for one useful action in every frustrating situation. Instead of thinking this is bad, ask, what can I fix next? Fourth, reduce exposure to negative conversations that reinforce complaining habits. But that's not all. When you stop complaining, your emotional stress load automatically decreases because you're no longer feeding negative interpretations of events. Psychological studies from Stanford show that mentally repeating complaints increases cortisol, your stress hormone. Complaining doesn't just express stress, it multiplies it, because your brain keeps reliving the same problem again and again. First, notice repetitive thoughts about the same issue. Second, interrupt the loop by changing your physical state. Stand up, move, or drink water. Third, avoid repeating problems in conversations unless you're solving them. Fourth, practice silent acceptance, where you acknowledge the issue without adding emotional commentary. Now you might be thinking, is it really that powerful? Yes, and it gets even deeper. When you stop complaining, you stop reacting emotionally and start thinking in solutions instead. Complaining activates the emotional part of your brain, while solution thinking activates the logical part. Over time, you shift from reacting to responding. When something goes wrong, pause for a few seconds before reacting. Ask yourself, what is one thing I can control here? Instead of speaking frustration, write down possible solutions. Train yourself to respond instead of react in small daily situations like delays or mistakes. But there's something even more powerful coming next. When you stop complaining, your relationships start improving automatically. People mirror emotional energy. If you constantly complain, others subconsciously distance themselves. But when you stop, conversations become lighter, more constructive, and more engaging. Avoid starting conversations with problems unless necessary. Replace complaints with observations or solutions. Ask better questions, like, what can we do next? And gently guide negative conversations towards solutions instead of reinforcing them. And now, let's go even deeper. Stopping complaints strengthens your discipline and self-control without you realizing it. Visual: stick figure gaining control over floating distraction icons. Every time you stop yourself from complaining, you're training your brain to pause before reacting. That same skill is what builds discipline in every area of life. Start noticing complaints without reacting to them. Replace them with neutral awareness. Delay emotional responses by a few seconds before speaking. Track moments where you stay silent instead of reacting negatively during the day. And here's the biggest transformation of all. When you stop complaining consistently, your identity slowly changes. Visual. Stick figure silhouette becoming lighter and more confident. Your brain starts seeing you as someone who doesn't react emotionally to problems, but instead focuses on solutions. Identity is built through repetition, not intention. Define yourself as someone who stays solution-focused. Reinforce it daily with small actions like choosing silence over complaint. At the end of each day, note one situation you handled well without complaining. Avoid labeling yourself as negative, even casually. Let's quickly review what we covered today. Number 1. Your brain stops filtering life negatively. Number 2. Your stress levels drop naturally. Number 3. You become a problem solver. Number 4. Your relationships improve automatically. Number 5. Your discipline strengthens quietly. Number 6. Your identity shifts toward positivity. Visual. 6 ideas forming a circle around stick figure. Remember, stopping complaints doesn't remove problems from your life. It removes the mental weight that makes them heavier than they are. You already have the ability to handle more than you think. The only difference is how you interpret what happens to you. Don't wait for life to become easier. Start by noticing just one complaint today and replacing it with awareness instead of reaction. That small shift changes everything over time. If you found this helpful, hit the like button. Subscribe for more psychology-based self-improvement content. Drop a comment telling me what you complain about most and what you're going to replace it with. And if you want to learn how to build a strong mindset next, check out the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.